going on. Can you share with us, what your take is? Has been replaced by a new speaker, Kennedy Ibe. Our guest earlier, of course, Chris Wando had spoken a little bit about it. But Kennedy Ibe currently is the Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly. In reaction to it, Paul Emeziam has said that he is still the Speaker and that the Deputy Speaker, Amara Nwayanwu, who was removed and, of course, who led other lawmakers to impeach him and put in Kennedy Ibe as the new Speaker, cannot do that legally because his impeachment still stands. And so, these are the legal, directions and, controversies that they would have to continue to battle until there's some clarity as to what is going on in the Imo State House of Assembly. Chris Wando also mentioned earlier that this is all just politics being played out here and there. We hope that there is some clarity and we'll be able to understand better as we try to reconnect with Festus Ogun this morning. I was saying earlier that it's not the first time that we're seeing things like this, and every now and then there is one state controversy or the other, it leads to impeachments. Sometimes it even leads to the mace being stolen or being taken away from the House, so that the House sittings can hold. In reaction, Paul Emeziam also made statements saying that they weren't even meant to be having a parliamentary sitting on the day that, his supposed impeachment took place. And so it cannot stand. They obviously would be going to the courts, I believe, to try to make sense out of all of this. And of course, I'm not sure where this leads.
Well, it's just a similar situation that happened in Plateau State just recently, looking at the impeachment as well. I'm sure that there's a procedure because with everything, you have laws and rules guiding every organization, every institution. And so I'm hoping that we're able to connect with Festus this morning so we find out exactly what the law requires, what it takes if you were to impeach a speaker. What is the expectation of the law? How is it supposed to go? Right? And so what are the procedures to be taken before a speaker has been impeached? I'm sure that the Constitution actually states that also. That also is also a major concern because if you're not supposed to have plenary, it was supposed to be a committee meeting, and then why do you have that? How many persons sat and decided that? We have, according to reports, saying that about 19 members signed that resolution out of 27 members. So find out, the legality of all of this. But it calls for a lot of concern because, these are lawmakers and we expect that they should understand the law. Before you become a lawmaker, you should understand the law, understand what the law says, and that you are abiding by the law. It is really, really sad because over time we've actually seen some radical behavior in state houses of assembly. And usually when that mace is taken, because that's the element of legality, without that, it means that your gathering is null and void. However, Paul Emeziam is also saying that he is still the speaker and that his removal is childish, null and void.
Yeah. Like you said, we've seen these things play out. Nwayanwu, who was also removed on the 8th of July, I believe, by Paul Emeziam. That's also going to come into the conversation here because they're going to have to wonder exactly what he is accused of. It says unparliamentary activity, and that's the reason he was taken out as deputy speaker. Before then, leading these 6 lawmakers and others to impeach Paul Emeziam now. We have Festus Ogun. Welcome back, Mr. Ogun.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us clearly?
Yes, I can.
All right, welcome back. Go ahead if you heard my question earlier.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, so, good morning, Nigeria. When we look at the game of impeachment in Nigeria, you discover that the former governor of Imo State, Deputy Governor Madrid was actually impeached by the Imo State House of Assembly. But then, when we look at it from the aspect of law, not majority of the members of the House must have voted and must have passed the resolution before the Speaker or Deputy Speaker can be said to have been impeached. The question is that the case in this current scenario? We have about 19 lawmakers out of 27 lawmakers that voted for his impeachment. So from the aspect of law, at least from the face of it, I think it is valid. But we really need to ask if indeed the only constitutional assignment the House of Assembly understands in Nigeria is impeachment and suspension. The question is, are they really committed to their constitutional mandate to make law for the peace, order, and good governance of Nigeria? Are they really committed to making laws geared towards the progress and advancement of Imo State? These are real questions that concern the common man on the street. Whether they engage in a gale of impeachment on a daily basis, it may not necessarily matter to the common man. That is their policy. What is important to the common man is the dividend of democracy that can be resulted as a result of conscious and deliberate lawmaking. Lawmaking geared towards the development of the society. But is that what obtains in Imo State? What Imo State, two-thirds majority has been met, and the impeachment appears at least in consonance with the provisions of the Constitution. But when you now have, out of 30 lawmakers, we have situations where we have 7 lawmakers coming together to impeach, it will not stand because it is a gross violation of the Constitution. You mentioned the case of Imo State, at least from the fact in public disposal, I think it is constitutional. However, I do not want Nigerians to really dwell on, distractions coming in form of legislative politicking. I really want Nigerians to dwell on issues of governance, issues of legislative capacity. Are they really delivering the expected goods? These are questions begging for answer. One, we do not have a situation where the impeached speaker has been suspended from performing his other legislative duties. Is to suspend or remove a lawmaker from representing his people. But once the impeached speaker can still perform his legislative duties on behalf of his constituents, I think it's a right way to go. But there is, from the facts in public disposal, there is democratic.
What I'm asking is that you're saying that whatever is playing out in Imo State currently is